the one tool I think I would have appreciated was just confidence. Because I think like the backgrounds that we're brought up in, right, the environments, sometimes aren't the best in terms of confidence, right? Now we have bullying, right, and the social, what is it, like social media bullying. Now that's a whole other level, but like that stuff really deters that your insecurity, you know? And so, like, for me to tap into being my full self and being happy and really understanding what Ben really wants and what works and what we do, right? That's all part of lack of confidence. And I truly believe that my confidence was built was through meeting and connecting with different people who are in different stages in their life and learning those lessons. You know, like I met you, right? You're a vet, right? Like, that's military veteran, right? Like you're not a vet, right? Right? You did the military, right? Like for respect. I mean, and thank you for your service, right? Like that mentality. But you never came off as like, yeah, you know, I'm a boss. I do all these things, right? Like in a very humble setting, right? Like, yo, let me just teach you this real quick. Let me tell you about my story, right? I'm like, oh, that's an amazing life, you know? And when you meet a new person, it's like a whole new world you really tap into and learn from. That's like, so what happened to it? Maybe this is not okay, you know? And meeting these people, these different experiences, I'm like, yo, like life is dope, you know? Like what makes us different is really cool, you know? And kind of seeing like I'm hella social, you know what I mean? Oh, I like to talk about money in a way that's simple, you know, not complex, and those are the strengths, those are the uniqueness that I bring to the table, right? And why do I talk about money? And why do I care? Because I've been raised in poverty my whole life, you know, to the point where it was negative, it had a negative effect on me, to the point where that's something that I never want to experience again or let anybody else experience, right? There's a way for me to fix that. So really, that was kind of the tool that I wish I had, right? A lot more confidence to really. And I think the way I built that was through meeting and connecting with people to share with me their story and kind of highlight it like, yo, man, these are your strengths, you know, these are things that you bring to the table. And they might not say it to me directly, but after sharing our story, it's so different. It ain't wrong, and your story ain't wrong, right? But it makes mine different. Really let that shine, be proud of it, and understand that's what makes you who you are. So that with that confidence, then that's when I felt that momentum. Trip, like going to Bhutan, right? Like what Dominican person thinks like, yo, I'm just gonna go to Bhutan? That's not a normal thing, you know what I mean? It's not a normal thing. And when I was there, I'm like, oh yeah, I'm Dominican. They're like, what's that? And I'm Latino. They're like, what are you for? I'm like, that's wild. You know what I mean? Like that's, yeah. I had a conversation with a few students and they said that. I'm like, that's crazy. You know, because we don't be out there. Like, you know, like, once again, with that confidence, I got to expand the identity that I am. And it's not authentic. From it, right? And then come back home and teach my homies like, yo, this ain't these few blocks ain't it. The whole world is out there, you know. The whole opportunities are everywhere, you know. Like, and bringing that mentality, right? That atmosphere. So the point where I remember when I used to work at a Ruby Tuesday, there was this cook, and he looked at me, he's like, because he was looking at my Facebook, and he's like, yo, who the hell are you? I think I told you this story. I don't know if I told you this. He was like, yo, who are you? I'm like, what do you mean? Because at the time I was working as I was like taking care of like the salad bar, right? So I'm like, I'm this kid on my Facebook. You see me studying abroad in Bhutan, and I was in Ghana, right? Like these crazy experiences. But then I'm over here, you know, fixing people's salad. You know what I mean?
That's exactly
right. And so he's like, yo, who the hell are you, man? And I'm like, what you mean? What are you talking about? He's like, yo, you're like all over the place. Like, why are you here? I'm like, oh, like I'm here to make money, you know?
Right.
But it's like in his mind, right? Because he knows me, right? He's like, yo, let's get from the block. Like, you understand, right? And he's like, how the hell do you even make it out there? Like, what is that? Mm-hmm. And he showed me the picture. I'm like, yo, that's Bhutan. He's like, how do you, like, yo, study abroad? He's like, what is that? You know, I went to college, so we were just chopping it up. And he's like, yo, that's crazy, right? So now he can relate with me, right? In that sense, like, yo, it's like there's more out there. You know, it's not just this. It's not just this job I don't like. You know what I mean? This temporary, you know, and understanding that. That's it.
That's huge. I think confidence is very important, but I'm gonna just drill down a little bit because obviously you were able to gain confidence at a specific point in college. So how were you able to do that? And then what tool exactly? Confidence is sometimes it could be considered like an inner person thing, or like what tools do you think college would have put there to help you gain that confidence, or what thing you wish that was there to help you grow the confidence?
Oh, I know, like college itself is the only time, well, so far in my life, right, that I've been in a place where everybody's basically my age,
Mm,
in my age group.
okay.
Um, and so I think just having that social environment constantly happening, right? Like you go to sleep, but you have students next to you, right? You go eat breakfast and you have more students
Right,
next to you.
right.
Um, you have all these people who come from different backgrounds, who come from different places and have different stories, and you're constantly interacting with them. Whether it's at the gym, yo, bro, let me get them weights real quick. Oh, tell me about who
Right,
you are.
right, right.
Literally, our conversation. You were at the library, and I'm like, hey, what's up? Who
Yeah,
are
I
you?
know. That's
Right? And now we're doing this, right? Like all this stuff.
Mm,
At least in my sense, that's how I built my confidence through the social interaction with the institution, right? The college itself provided, right? That bubble of
mm,
of of high social status, right? Left and right all the time. You're constantly communicating with people. You're constantly connecting. There's always something happening. Now, when you graduate, it's different. It's not like that.
yeah.
You know what I mean? Now you go to work, you go home, right? You build your family, or you do these few things, but you don't have as much as a friend group as you did when you were in college, right? And so that was a tool, I think, or one of the tools that I'm conscious of, right? That really helped me in that aspect. Um,
The
to really build
social
that
interaction
social
helps you
interaction.
with that.
Like now, right? Like we have the alumni of color network that we do at URI. Like that's part of that too, and I still keep building from it, right? So having those hubs where you can connect with people. That's why I think like what you're doing is dope, right? Because you'll be able to get people together in that sense, right? That's powerful. That's powerful. Because maybe I'm too scared to just walk up to somebody and talk to them. Maybe I just hit them up, yo, you're doing math. Oh, you're the math dude. Yo, you went to tutoring? Can you teach me? I didn't have the time. I slept. I had to work. Put me on, right? Oh, I'm a commuter. I can't really be on campus like that. Put me on. I got you. And then boom, boom, and that connection, and who knows? Maybe they do build confidence. Maybe they build something else, right? Once again, that's what I built. That's what I needed.
Yeah.
But having those things that those hubs that really let you connect like that, really built a lot of strength. And social capital is at least for me the most important thing right now. You know, um, yeah.
The last question is, I know you're a success advisor, so obviously you have a lot of students that you advise, and I'm sure a lot of students come with issues to you, and then I'm sure you have to solve a lot of issues. So what's one thing that you consistently see with your students? And I'm sure there's probably other students facing the same issue. And what advice do you have?
Yeah. Ooh. So when I think of that instantly, I think about my male students.
Okay.
So my male students, man, I love those kids to death. Now the thing that I've seen, or the pattern that I've seen, is that a lot of guys don't ask for help
Mm.
until it's too late, until the problem's already above them, way above them, and it can't be fixed. And they come, yo, Ben, I don't know what to do. I'm like, oh, what happened? I got dismissed. I'm like, damn, you already got dismissed. I can't really, you know what I mean?
Right, right.
Like, you should have told me a lot earlier when you were finding trouble, right? Um, and I think it has a lot to do with how we were brought up, right? Especially men of color, right? There's a whole lot of pride. There's a whole lot of bravado,
Absolutely. Yeah.
right? There's a whole lot of like, nah, do it yourself. Don't be bitching, right? Don't be. Can I
Yeah.
swear? I don't know.
No, I mean that's fine.
Like don't fuck it up. Do what it right. Like these attitudes that have always been instructed to us, right, since we were little. Now you see it on grown men, and it can be difficult to like let them know like, yo, it's all good. Like tell me what's up. Talk to me. Don't leave me hanging. I'm here to support you, but you gotta show me. Um, and so uh, those students, right, they make decisions. Yeah, no problem. They make decisions, right, once I can't help them already, and then that's a pattern I see.
Wow.
And sometimes, maybe I'm not the person they feel cool with or comfortable with, and that's totally cool. But as long as they have an outlet or those mentors and like those coaches, those people that can really help them in those situations, uh, where they can reach out to, because that's the biggest problem I think I've seen. Because the students I serve like are super intelligent, super motivated, super on top of their stuff when they want to, right? But then those who don't ask for help are the ones that I see not doing the well.
Wow.
You know what I mean? But those who reach out, who are always on top of, those are the ones that are always on top of things. It's not a problem. And instead of looking at the problem like, oh man, like he's gonna say this to me, or like, oh, the world's gonna think I'm dumb, like all this self talk, right? This insecurity, right? Not having confidence, right? All these things, kind of, right? Um, you kind of get to see that in students. And when they ask for help, now it's too late. Like they've been like hiding the issue or
Yeah.
masking it, and now it's blew up, and now it's too late. And that's when everything that you thought was gonna happen actually happens. Because now it's bigger than the proportion that you thought. Um, if that all makes sense, because now I'm just blabbing a little
No,
bit.
no, no. I gotta admit, I even have issues right now as an adult asking for help. I have pride. Like I'm telling you, I have that issue, and even in college, I hated to ask for help. So I could definitely relate. So then, what advice do you have for those people that you do want to ask for help, but you're like, no, maybe I can handle this. So what advice do you have?
Yeah. So I asked this from an actual student of mine who when I first met her, she told me like yeah like she was in a rough spot. Um um she was in a rough spot academically. She wasn't doing well, and then she kind of told me like oh man like I don't really like to ask for help. Like it's not part of who I am. It's like all these excuses for not asking for help.
Yeah.
Um, and then eventually I'm like, listen, if you want me to help you, like we have to rely on each other. And the only way I can help you is if you tell me how I can help you. I'm not psychic, I can't predict what's going on. And if you tell me you're doing great, I'm gonna believe that because I don't think you're a liar. Why would I go against your word? Um, and so with time, I asked her. She's a stellar. She's a star. She's a monster. She's a
Yeah.
beast. I got mad respect for her. When I told her she wanted to get that, she got that. And so now she's doing amazing. And I had another student of mine who kind of confessed to me like, "Oh, I have trouble asking for help." And so I asked him like, "Hey, what made you write this question that you're asking me? Like,
Yeah.
what makes you really ask for help? Like, what's up?" And she was like, honestly, it was a lot of internal things. She told me like I kind of what was going in my head that was going to happen if I asked for help was a lie. She was
Mm.
like, "Oh, like people are gonna think I'm dumb." If you ask for help, you're the smartest person in the room
That's
because
true.
everybody has that question.
That's really true.
She was also like, also think about like what's gonna happen when you don't. Like what's really gonna happen if you don't ask for help? What's really gonna happen? And like, oh, are you gonna fail this class? Oh, are you gonna get dismissed? Are you like now when you don't solve this now, when you don't ask for this help now, it's gonna take you way too long to solve it on your own sometimes. And if you do ask for it, then it'll just make everything a lot easier. Then you have more free time to do exactly what you want instead of thinking about this and letting it really grow in your head, right? Of all these things that could happen when they really don't sometimes, you know what I mean? So that's the same advice that I would give my other students. My students that are not asking for help, I'm like, listen, there's a two-way street. If you want me to help you, got to tell me. And whatever excuse you have, we can work through it. Because it's really an excuse. When you don't ask for help, it's really an excuse. You know what I mean? Because at least for me, the easiest thing to do is to ask for help now. And now that I got through that stage, like, yo, if I don't, it's gonna take me 3 days to learn how to do this push up. When I can just ask you, yo, teach me how to do a push up, right? Oh no, wait, I'm a man though. I should learn how to. I should know how to do this, but like if I don't, it's all good. Yo, I don't even know how to ride a bike, man. Yo, teach me how to ride a bike. Why not just ask? Because then I'm just gonna bust my ass every time and get scratched up, and then I don't even want to ride anymore. I don't even want to go to school anymore. I don't even want to learn math. I'm bad at math now. And math, you gotta ask for a lot of help. Math, you gotta ask for a lot of help. So those are kind of those examples. So definitely, yeah, those are excuses, yo. Whenever my students are like, I didn't ask for help because that, like, cause of nothing, man. That's nonsense. You know what I mean? And sometimes it's something that's just internal, and we always got to solve for ourselves. You know what I mean? And it's just trial and error sometimes. Like that student of mine went through hell basically to be able to start asking for help, and now she's a star. She's like, damn, I wish I could have done this earlier. You know what I mean?
That's usually the realization when that happens. You're like, oh my God, asking for help is really helpful.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah, it's nothing crazy, and sometimes it doesn't even have to be asking for help. It's just sometimes it's even just being curious, like you just want to learn something from somebody else. That could be seen as asking for help, but it's whatever meaning you add to it. You know what I mean? Because maybe I just want to learn how to do a push up, right? Instead of like, can you help me do a push up?
Right.
Instead of thinking of myself, well, I'm scrawny, I'm not a man, and for all these things, right? I'm just curious because he does a perfect push up. I just want to try it.
Right.
You know what I mean? Looking at it in a different angle for whatever suits your needs. You know what I mean? And make sure that you get the results. Because at the end of the day, that's what matters. Yeah.
I hope our viewers today watched the whole interview. I know it's a little bit long, but I gotta tell you, I learned a whole lot today, and I gotta give you a big thank you, Ben. I appreciate it, my man. Thank you for dropping gems. We don't have a lot of viewers, but I gotta tell you, if you could just drop anywhere, a place people could contact you, whether that's for financial advising, life coaching, whether that's for any type of advice where you're trying to achieve a goal or because I consider you not only as a success advisor, you're a coach, you're a life advisor, and I think, and you have a great message and you know a whole lot. So
Thank you.
if you could please share any place they could contact you at.
Yeah, no, y'all can follow me on IG, cv.benjamin. That's about it. Facebook, Benjamin Concepcion, all that good stuff. My email at cvbenjamin1@gmail.com. And you can email me, ask any questions or whatever you need. There's a way that we connect. I love to connect, so don't be shy. Yeah, whatever you need, let me know. I'm here to serve. He hit me up to come here and make this happen. I never say no to this man. So
This guy responded like, no problem, I got you. That's what he said.
I'm man of my word. I told him a few months ago, yo, whatever you need, let me know. He supports me, I support him. As simple as that. If you got a good heart, I'll work with you. Whatever you need. Whatever you need. Yeah.
Those people that are interested in finding someone to study with, and if you want to find a tutor, you want to find a coach, please visit homecenter.com. Thank you.
Thank you.
Appreciate you, Ben.
No problem.